guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Sunday, October 26th, 2025. Welcome to an on-location video. Today I'm going to be exploring Route 4 eastbound in Teaneck. This is going to be part one of a three-part series because the state of New Jersey has just announced that they're going to rehabilitate 3 bridges right here on Route 4. But the problem is they're doing them all at the same time, which is going to create a traffic nightmare. Groundbreaking is started to commence, they say, in the fall of 2026, which is next year. This section right here is the worst, between Bell Avenue going eastbound to Queen Anne Road. I don't know if you can see behind me. There is no acceleration lanes on this section of the road. Plus, they rate the viaduct as structurally insufficient. So what we're going to do today, we're going to walk eastbound all the way to Queen Anne Road. I'm going to show you the problems. Then we're going to cut underneath Queen Anne Road, come out the other side. I'll show you the westbound side. Then we're going to go underneath the viaduct, and I'm going to show you the structural deficiencies that none of you are aware of because you only drive on the surface. Because on the surface it looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? But we're going to go underneath. Notice how these cars are having a hard time getting out. There's no acceleration lane, and there's always accidents right there. And Queen Anne Road is even worse. So, let's get started on our walk. Okay guys, let's get started and let me get you situated. First of all, on the right where I have the cursor here, is where I just filmed the little clip, and this is where we're going to begin our starting point. You can clearly see that there's no acceleration lane from Bell Avenue here, and it's really an accident waiting to happen, which is why I call this section Accident Alley. Also, I am standing right now on Sussex Road, and at the very end of the video, I'm going to show you something that's going to leave you shocked underneath where I'm standing right now. We are now on Bell Avenue on the entrance ramp trying to get onto Route 4 eastbound. You can see this car's having trouble trying to ease out into the right-hand lane because traffic's passing by at 55 miles an hour. Keep in mind that I'm filming this video 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday when there's little traffic. Here you can see this poor guy had a wreck and left part of his car behind. Over here on the right side, you can see how many people were forced off the lane by speeding traffic that would not yield to them when they were trying to get on. Very, very dangerous condition indeed. Look at this telephone pole. Angled completely to the left, it was struck, and they just left it there. This is an accident waiting to happen on the westbound side, and we'll take a look at that shortly when I get over there. Now we're going over what I would call the Palisades Avenue Viaduct, which goes over Windsor Road, the CSX rail line, and of course Palisade Avenue. During the early days, until about maybe 20 years ago, there was no guardrail here. Do you guys want to take a guess why they put the guardrail up? You can see right here, this was built in 1931, the entire viaduct. Here, the guardrail is already rotting through. Okay, expansion joints. They dug them out a couple of years ago and put that new concrete in, but this concrete never lasts. I can see it's cracked here already. The fence is here so people who are either pedestrians or in cars don't throw junk over onto the roadway below or onto the railroad tracks. This here, the discolored concrete was all patched up last year. They did a major patchwork process on this section underneath, spending crazy money, which was stupid because they're going to replace the whole thing now. Look at this. Look at this mess, totally eaten away. Earlier, I asked you if you knew why they put the guardrail there, and many of you probably thought it was to protect pedestrians, which would be partially right. But the main reason is they fear that if somebody was to hit this wall, they would plow right through it. And quite frankly, I think they would. Here, even the steel is rotting away. This is the CSX rail line underneath me. 3 tracks, no waiting. Often, they leave entire trains idling here for many hours and occasionally days. It's a heavy freight line. Another section rotted away to nothing. Rebar showing through. Nice little Monte Carlo hubcap in the woods, along with a Nissan Quest. Now, what I'm doing is I've gotten off on Queen Anne Road, and I'm going underneath Route 4, and I want you to see this chunk of concrete here. Look, let loose and just fell right down. Thankfully, nobody was walking under there, or they would be part of history. Take a look at the water damage under here. The gaping holes, very poor condition. But thankfully, this is part of the project that's going to be replaced. Look at these cracks. Look at this mess. Right through here. Okay, now I've come up the other side, the westbound side of Route 4. And on this side, it's 3 lanes going west, not just 2 like the eastbound side. And look here, it's a very tight turn for a car. Can you imagine if a tractor trailer tried getting on here? He couldn't make it, which is why this guardrail is so torn up on the right-hand side. It's a mess. There's a better look at it, and it's always like that. Periodically, they'll come along, cut the bad section out, and put a new section in, and it won't last very long. Think about it. A tractor trailer could never negotiate this turn. At best, he'd have to try and drive out to the middle lane to clear all this. And that's very dangerous on Route 4. This is a very busy road. Here's the way it looks from the sidewalk. See how it's all caved in? This was put in, this design, 1980, guess 85 or so. They did a bad job, in my opinion, because look over here. This is where the guardrail was originally, which was fine. They put it too far out. So now, when tractor trailers or buses come down, some of them have a tendency to drift over and scrape the guardrail. I've seen it happen, and it's quite torn up. They should have pushed it in a little bit more. This is where I just came from. There's a bumper cover from a previous accident. The top section of this pillar has been replaced with a quick patch job. They spent so much money and time doing this. I wish they would have done it right last year and started replacing the whole thing instead of wasting money. Again, look how much concrete here has been replaced, because the original concrete was faulty, and usually when they replace it, that concrete is faulty too. This whole section here, look, replaced. Look at this. It's like a mosaic. Here, the sidewalk is virtually impassable because a lot of trees and limbs have come down, so I had to maneuver my way around there and get through. Here is the telephone pole that I showed you earlier in the video, leaning to one side. Sooner or later, this is coming down. And I sure hope I'm not the guy driving underneath there when it does come down. We're going to now go underneath the viaduct that I just walked on, and I want you to see this mess. This is the area where they spent an awful lot of time doing patchwork, because I used to pass it every day. You can see the different hues of concrete and all the chunks of concrete that have fallen down. They spent a lot of money putting this high intensity LED lighting for nothing, because guess what? It's all coming down next year. Now we're underneath the viaduct itself, heading toward the CSX rail yards. Look at all the ground up concrete. You can see these are all sections here. Look, there, where the sections have fallen through and were not replaced. Water damage. More water damage. See? Rotting away. No concrete here at all. This is exposed beams. A lot of concrete dust has fallen down in this section. Look at that mess. Look at that freaking mess, will you? That's what happens over time with concrete. The water seeps in the cracks and it rusts the rebar. Then it gets cold, the rebar expands, and the concrete all crumbles. Very, very common. There's your CSX rail yards. Okay, let's take a quick look down there. Hey, same train from earlier, still sitting there, idling. Graffiti guys have been here, but this looks like a very old tag to me. Notice that over here, this is the CSX rail yards. They didn't do any patchwork at all. Not one single thing was patched here, and I'm not sure why. Now this is what really concerns me. This is not part of the project I spoke of. Remember at the beginning of the video, I said, guys, I'm standing on Sussex Road, and I have something I want to show you that's going to blow your mind. Look at the reinforcements that the state put up under Sussex Road. This is the westbound side of Route 4. Can you imagine that they felt it's so weak and unstable that they have to put these heavy beams in? Take a look. What a mess. Here, all these sections are where concrete has fallen through. All right, all of it. That's rebar that's exposed. Here, look right here. You can see what I think happened here was I think a truck might have hit this and took a chunk off. This is very recent. There's a better look of it. See it? The sign, the clearance sign says 13.6. And when I was here, a tractor trailer went underneath it with plenty of room. Plenty of room. So I really don't know how anybody could hit this thing, but it looks like somebody has. Now look at this. This is the other side of the same bridge, overpass rather. Look at these freaking beams. All extra with railroad ties at the base for stability. This is wild. There's a close-up look. This is something I would have thought I would have seen in New York City in the early 1980s. Look at the concrete here. It's all gone to crap. All of it. See? Now, I was about to walk up these stairs and call it a day, but something caught my eye. I said, what the ever-loving heck is that? Look at this. This is actually a steel brace that goes around this pillar to try and hold it together. What a piecemeal piece of oddity. Unbelievable, but true. I couldn't believe that. Also, I spotted that. What the heck is this? Now, if you want my personal opinion, I think that this piece, if you turned it, let's just say 90 degrees, and it was right side up, I think
that this was the base for the beginning of a guardrail, because I could see that there's a cable here. See this? There's a cable here that's still attached in part. But still in all, I can't quite put it together and how it even got there. That thing is like huge. I sure hope nobody ever hits that thing. I mean, there's a guardrail protecting it, but still, no reason for that to be there. And guys, that is the end of part 1 of Route 4 viaduct replacements in my 1 of 3 series. Part 2 will be slightly further west, and that will encompass the bridge over the Hackensack River. Part 3 will be filmed in Hackensack. There's a bridge there they're doing too, and they're doing them all at one time. Absolutely freaking insane. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Feel free to leave some comments below. Rock on and peace.